Elliott now to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Here we go.
Chase, the motion man right. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A lot still to go here in Super Bowl 60. And we are back, Super Bowl 61. Thanks for joining us, everybody, nationwide and around the globe as both teams get set to begin the second quarter. Burrow will throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Zach Bond from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down. Here's Blake Gillikin now. Let's take it inside his own 40. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Hurts. Completes it to Hardman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 4 catches already here in this Super Bowl. He's got another 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Stop made there by Brian Asamoah.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd and 6. Here's Hurts to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Throwing is Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark. And the Bengals are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
42.
Now Burrow down around his goal line. And oh, that is going to be a safety.
Partner, you got to check this out because while they rightly congregate around the guy who just made the play on field, take a look at the sideline because they all went over to congratulate their punter because they remember it was his kick that set them up so close to the end zone and gave them an opportunity to get the safety that we just saw to add to the...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 84 yards. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the 1st half of this Super Bowl. Elliott good with a PAT. And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged...
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. T. Higgins, 65 yards. And the Bengals are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that trims the lead down to 9. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That's good for 28 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to throw again. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Damone Clark, and the Bengals are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That's underneath to Pierce. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts, so that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Burrow going to throw again. Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
McPherson's kick is good. And the deficit trimmed to 6 now at 16-10. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
They'll throw now on the final play. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. One of the greatest performances of the year usually, but not here. Halftime of the Super Bowl is skipped, and we are on to the second half. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts going right side here, and that's complete. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force the incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. That's taken in by Higgins. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Shoves him aside. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure.
Review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Whoa. 180.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up.
Here we go.
And someone jumped.
Now it's Burrow. He's got room to roam, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Terrell Lewis. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Here's Burrow. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Bengals are an extra point away from taking the lead in this Super Bowl. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense and Jalen Hurts ready to take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. Across the formation, Hardman gets the completion. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Miami. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll try the right side. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. Well, the tide definitely seems to be turning in this 3rd quarter as this defense is able to knock the ball free and recover.
And let's look at it